Welcome to the Denzel Washington School of the Arts, where we excel in the arts through education. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for gracing our school with your presence. Just a commercial real fast. We have downstairs doing our catering, Waffle Chick, and let me tell you, the food is good. So please support. Prices are reasonable, the food is good, so please support because she's here to support. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you again for coming out and gracing us with your presence. We are indeed happy and joyful, and we are so glad to have Dr. Cornell West gracing us with his illustrious presence this afternoon. We need to stand on the shoulders of our elders. Our elders are the ones that are carrying our generation, and we're so appreciative of all that he has done for our people. And so at this time, I would like to call to the stage Professor Small as we stand. He is going to be doing the invocation. Audience, I ask you to stand in reverence, please.
Good evening. No, you can't stop any proceedings without calling God into the space. So, this proceeding is evening with Dr. West, bringing the word. We're going to ask the Almighty Creator to please bless and guide everything that we do here today. We're going to ask the God that brought us here, give us the sense to see and understand the message that's coming to us tonight. And we ask God to bless all of these young people who are going to present themselves to you tonight. And in the name of the divine, in the name of the Christ, and in the name of the divine of the entire universe, we say amen. Amen. Peace and blessings.
Thank you so much. Please be seated. Please enjoy. Please welcome to the stage at this time the DWSA Gospel Choir. Let's give it up for our gospel choir. the stage, Chosen Ones. Please welcome to the stage, Chosen Ones. Give a round of applause, please.
With the area you got integration right here in New York City. You have worse integration problems in the north than they have in the south. So if it doesn't work in if you can't bring about integration in the west, you won't get integration anywhere else in the country.
With a good press, I'm a spark fire. So it's just my time. King of mountain, baby, dreams, flip a wind like a falcon. Falcon watch, I'm looking down from the mountain top. All short, essentially feeling invincible. In shape, feeling my principles. My respect will be legendary. I'm taking by any means necessary. I'm the pop, fast, I'm the swinging the trees. I'm on my gap, I got to dig that. Hit that, yo, I'm about to hit that. It's cool, it's cool, and he knows he's trying to find out how to code it. Hate me for my intelligence, all types of treasure, more than police keep asking me my therapy, and you feel the tension, I'm inside you, this is how I live, it's too big, keep trapping me, let it vision, my attitude,
and now we quoting the niggas they going, they still the violence. You probably wish you never had voted for you. It's no respect that you know it, cause it's over. So when they inject you with gold, the closest thing they do, they can't put them open. If they're smiling, that's camouflage, so they gotta open. The problems are cheap, like 40-ounce bottles of drama could cost your life, bro, but now it's just free. Standing on wisdom, not the God only me, and that visit a map. The ball in the dream, a champion nigga. Why they have to get to speak? They do you like the minute you don't read the regime. I'm talking freedom, yeah, like the air that you breathe. Talk about freedom, like the man that I lead. I can't believe my body swaying on the street. Aiming for this shit to believe.
Come on, let's go. Lead to the eye. Speculate the loop.
UEP, Newton, on the top. Plus Nat Turner. Hope he's a fast learner. Infused with likes they use. It's real up in his shoes. I refuse to lose.
I'm on it with a grip.
Mixed in there.
Hard on the line with the
Tongue of a pen.
full time.
No tech.
Moving on the low. You can visit with all that.
Name on the pen.
My mind on my people.
My people is on my mind.
I was gonna put it up, but I
Then you don't waste your time. Wouldn't waste a line. Divine to my prime.
That's why it's like
It's prime when I rhyme.
you do a thing.
You do off the flame.
Protect the name.
Never did it for the fame.
He got king.
Carving his own lane.
People leaving
Not a lane.
I'm like scared with the
Drop.
That's the
Rise to the top.
I'm that real cool.
Getting harder while it's hot.
Give it to the block. I make it
Shot through the wire.
never will it stop. I give it
Everything I got.
listen to how I spit.
OG shit.
Everything that you give to these kids is a
Yeah.
lyrical spit.
Show shot is lit.
Just showing up potential while we live in the mix. Politicians ain't the source of my
Energy.
Word of mommy, though I know this is God is
The heavily.
Speak through me, we got what I attract. That it isn't right in the eyes. Behold,
Absent.
people jam out
Task.
or rhyme.
Absent.
You can't
Drunk off my bandwidth.
put together thoughts for my dreams like a sandwich. Discipline, give me space to
For actions.
Move before I can't afford the loss. If I'm lazy, my future will absorb the cost. Let's focus, beat. My soul's born like the Middle East. Too bad, I feel like nothing can belittle me.
One of the things I find challenging is time management. Juggling 2 gigs, preoccupied, my mind scattered. Listening to these rhymes, scrambling, but nines like the planet. Got me feeling like the sunshine Edison. All at the city, Fest in Ramington, plus a pet Irving. I throw my dude down and get dirty like a rep in Jersey. Skate with my kick and knock on your ass, cold and dirty. You front on me, I'm like heavy D. You don't deserve me. That's when the foes try to hurt me and the hoes curve me. Sweet revenge will come smelling my roses early. Never sold drugs in my life. Ironically, the Cougars couldn't get enough. All in the past, wasn't been brewed up. Like elevate, quality time, be your mom, plan getaways. The balance solves the negligence. It's for hopping in the hood at the risk of catching space. Like the kitchen running up that view, sucking shit. I'm packed alive and less fortunate. Put a cork in it, I got me so gone, this digital nonsense. It's just about everything on me but lyrical content. I'll keep it coming close, we got sleep in my armpits. Watching myself live out the dreams, my mission accomplished, yes. But for now, I'm taking my sanity and trauma. My heart goes out to all the families in God.
Chosen one, free your mind.
Free your mind.
Free your mind. Check this out.
Chosen one.
Bill.
Let's give it a hand for the chosen ones. Now we bring to the stage MC Cav. Give it up for MC Cav.
Yeah. Nice seeing my life. It's so beautiful out there. This piece is a real important piece. It's called The Belly Speaks. So I want you to open up your minds and open up your heart because this is a real deep, important piece. And I just want y'all to listen. I came into existence to strategically confine mankind. My authoritarian characteristic is how to control your mind by design. I'm a holding state of confinement, especially for you so-called criminals. Is what I am. To tell you the truth, I swallow and digest any human being, good or bad, because I just don't give a damn. My large intestines are units and housing blocks. My small intestines are cubicles and cells. I'm the next best thing you'll experience that's close, parallel, or equivalent to hell. My skin is made up of razor wires, bricks, water, iron, and steel. I'm the epitome of incarceration, the quintessential of locking things down. Yeah, for real. I keep you bound, restricted, limited, in any shape, form, or fashion as possible. Anything that got to do with breaking the spirit, I encourage it and make it logical. I'm an internal world contrary to the external world of life and what it could and should be. I'm a catalyst built to destroy any hope, wish, or concept you have of being free. And my God, oh my God, it's the government. They bless me with the essential tools I need. Through politics and frivolous laws in this judicial system, so therefore I will, and I mean I will, always succeed. I specialize in justice, divide and conquer. I birth to the masses. You can't figure me out, so don't try to understand, because there's no formula or method to my madness. Competition is none. I gotta say that again. Competition is none. On earth, the best who did it. Inside my body is full of memories of one's life and how they used to live it. I pull the invisible strings to your emotions. I play a type of psychological games on your brain. My undeniable negative energy will marinate deep in the soul to drive you insane. I'm the inevitable beside death. When you so-called thugs, seek fortune and fame. Oops, forgive me for being rude, even though you know me. It's only right. I tell you my name. What's your name? They call me prison, jail, the joint, the bin, the big house, the devil's den. But my favorite of all is the belly of the beast. My henchmen and workers is the COs, POs, lawyers, prosecutors, judges, snitches, and the police. That help to soothe my hunger, by providing me food, which is you. So listen up closely as I brag and boast about the miraculous things I can do. Listen up. I transform heterosexuals into homosexuals, making men lovers of men. I corrupt and separate all religions, causing the most faithful sin to submit to sin. I make best friends become enemies. I turn love to hate. I convert young into old. I make you fools pay dearly for your every mistake. Ah, yes. I create stress, set up traps and pitfalls to capture the so-called best. I give you sicknesses and diseases that plague your thoughts until it manifests. Where? In the flesh. I break up families, houses, and homes. I can make you fit from a single sound of a dial tone. I'm beyond mad to the bone. I take misery, multiply it by torture, then add it up with the realms of being alone. I execute well. I can make you beg, pray, cry, scream, and yell. I can take a promising entertainer, athlete, or anyone with a so-called future. Just ask P. Diddy and cause them to dramatically fail. I make you lust and feed over pictures and magazines and what you see on TV screens. I can subtract the cream, dip the gleam, inside your dreams and do it mean. Yeah. To the extreme. I morph opportunities into no chance. I turn cash into fish or stamps, giants into ants, kings into peasants. Yes. All at the same damn time. I change a lot of guts into no balls, large into I don't know how small, restaurants into chow halls, VIPs into mainline. But guess what? I ain't done yet. I can make calm individuals get nervous and break out in cold sweats. I can make you not follow your heart and live in regret and really believe I'm as good as it gets. I'll break, snap, crush, and tumble the strongest men, and I mean the strongest of men, and make them all soft and weak. Y'all didn't know? I'm the ultimate bully. People fear me before they even see me or hear me speak. So call me the master, because I always enslave those who come into contact with my presence. Yeah, that's right. I'm big business, baby. I capitalize all your hard work and labor while stealing the identity of your essence. I'm immortal, eternal, continuous, everlasting, perpetual. Other words, I am here forever. Forever. I'm the reason why I left you for someone better, and wrote you that, dear John. And nobody's more popular than me. Nobody. I'm international. My reputation is worldwide. How can you? Wanna know my purpose? My purpose is to extend the black and brown race. That's why I'm practicing. Genocide. In society, they are considered to be the least, the lowest, the minority. But that's not the case with me, because I consume them the most. Inside me, they are the majority. And that's my time now. The brother speaks. If these walls can speak, that's what it says. Thank you so much, and I've been great. Thank you.
Let's give it up for MC Ken. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Now let's welcome to the stage, Black Phoenix.
Turn it up.
Just a little of my testimony.
Turn it up.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I fought some demons along the way. Times get hard, but at least I know what the right day. I press and soulful with thinking. Unity within the culture come together like we're supposed to. We know these people vultures, yet we come there pray. Voluntarily being blind to what's above us. We need is God's love. We must respect it, don't dare to flex it. It's simple. So I'm popping it like a pimple. I need to stay here, mentally not. What you ready to let go? Listen, you don't need that wall. Cause if it's we, us, and our niggas, we don't fall. And that's mad. I get so tired, feeling like I'm sinking. It's time to make the change. Start with my thinking,
Start with this.
I got my head on straight, no more. Cause the freaking ain't no more. It's our time, yeah.
Ain't nothing impossible with God put his hands on it. So make sure whatever you do, you put God and his plays on it. His words my anchor. I can stand on it. Fist held high, right hand on it. Play on it, yup. I play on it. Some started a plan, but it ain't rain on it. But I don't play on it. I'm way too solid. I got more ambition in my eyelid. Pray after pray, now look what God did. The devil couldn't stop it. God gave the picture and crop it. It ain't just words when I talk. A whole nother walk when I walk. Heavy every thought, footprints in the sidewalk. You don't want the sideways when God talk. You ain't dead yet, but the God walk. There's a whole nother light when I walk. See the light when I roam the dark. Feel that light off a lonely spot. But the God knows my lonely heart. If I do it, you can do it. Lord knows, he'll see you do it. Just take the first steps and get to it. You ain't gotta touch that arm to move it. You ain't gotta touch it. We're over for you. Good.
It gets hard, but
Come on, baby, let them know.
I get so tired, feeling like I'm sinking.
You get tired, but keep going.
With my thinking,
Yeah,
I got my head on straight, no more.
That's right.
Cause the freaking ain't no more fair. It's our time,
It's our time, baby.
yeah. Dear God, can we talk for a minute? Thank you, I got some plans and I know that you hear. Baby girl, make me big, she's so healthy and strong. I look at her and I see you, she can do no wrong. Man, I remember when I lost my way. Then you redirected me to make sure I stay prayed up. But guess what? No ifs, ands, or buts. I know that you're able to God I can trust and lust. Well, that's been under the bus. And my hubby made me happy. I'm so glad that he got happy. We waited oh so long, now it's finally here. About to make some moon shake, this gon' be my year.
that's right.
That's facts. Waited oh so long, now it's finally here. About to make some moon shake, this'll be our year. That's facts.
That's facts.
That's facts. I get so tired, feeling like I'm sinking. Time
You
to
tired of my prayer, you give it to God, you hear me?
Am I thinking?
He'll handle it for you.
I got my head on straight, no more.
Yeah.
Freaking ain't no more fair.
Come on.
It's our time.
Let him have it.
It's our time, yeah.
Yeah.
No fear, it's nothing, it's not here. God's time, ain't our time, but
Yeah.
it's our time. If you get what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
How?
It's our time to know, yeah.
It's our
It's
time.
our time to know, yeah.
It's our time, black people, stand up. Come together, do what we gotta do. As long as we put God first, can't nobody stop us.
Change your mind, change your life. Remember that.
Nah.
Let's give it up for Black Phoenix. Now, please welcome to the stage, Brother Guys. Give it up for Brother Guys as he makes his way to the stage.
Everybody's having a good time tonight? Yes, okay. I
thank everybody for coming out today. Like I said, my name is Derek Dice Livingston, Derek Livingston. They call me Dice. I stand here before you today as a man who has worn many, many hats in my life. Right now, I work for the city of Mount Vernon. I own a barbershop, I wrote a book, and I've won several awards for Best Animated Film, not just in the US, but all over in European countries, in Germany, Canada, Berlin, and Brooklyn. Yes, Brooklyn. Yeah, but before any of that, I spent half of my life in prison. No applause for that. Now, I don't say that for the shock value. I just want you to understand something important. Where you start doesn't determine where you finish. Because life is about choices. Some we make in a split second, and they change everything. 6 seconds can change your whole life. Others we make in a day, choosing to push forward, stay disciplined, and to believe in something bigger than our circumstances. When I was younger, I made choices that led me down the wrong path. And I paid for them dearly. But here's what I learned. No matter how far down the wrong road you go, you always have the power to turn around. For the young people in this room, every decision you make today shapes your future. So choose wisely. For the adults, you are never too old to rewrite your story. So I want to show you the film that we won the awards for. You can roll it. There's no sound. No sound. You know how to sound?
I want them spending the most productive years of their life in prison like I did. December 10th, 12:45 p.m. 4 days ago, I celebrated my 10th year of imprisonment. That is, if celebrated is the right word. And 2 days ago, I celebrated my 40th birthday, the big 4-0. Can't believe that I'm 40 years old. Time surely does not wait for anyone. It's always hard for me around this time of year because I don't have my dad anymore. A lot of thoughts circle my mind that I try not to entertain. I need to have a child of my flesh and blood. People say you can adopt or your wife has kids, but it's just so different. I want to have a little Dicey or his mom, maybe a cute little girl. I would call her Derek or July. And God willing that day will come before my mother leaves this existence. I never met my mother's dad or my dad's dad. I was told that my mother's father held me when I was an infant. Of course, I don't remember that, but hopefully things will get better, I'm sure of it. My good news is coming, God willing. We all come from different family structures and backgrounds, and some of us come from families in desperate need of repair. I remember when we lived in New York City housing project. 6 of us sharing a 3-bedroom apartment. The building that we lived in was tall and maze-like, and I played in the hallways and stairwells, completely unaware of the dangers that surrounded them. My parents, however, were very aware of our surroundings, and they worked diligently to relocate our family
saving and sacrificing, my parents purchased a house that I would call home in the city of Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon wasn't anything like the projects. There were a lot of houses that had front and backyards. We had ants and centipedes instead of roaches. April 26, 2016, 5:50 a.m. Earlier today, I received my parole decision. I was looking forward to this day for 16 years. It hurts, man. It hurts like a motherfucker. Expecting to go home and finding out that you gotta stay for another 18 months, 24 months. It's 15 years, man. You can handle that. And right now, I feel empty and full. Man, I feel like holding on to picking up, let down and reassured. I'm responsible, confused, and I feel like a good guy and a crook at the same time. I'm lost, but I know where I'm at. I want to cry right now, but I bet my tears will burn my cheeks. How do I feel? I feel like saying, fuck this shit, fuck all this shit. I feel like running from and into with my fuck this shit attitude, breaking, biting, burning, shattering teeth with my feet. But I'm not that type of person. It just hurt deep right now. Why the fuck isn't anyone worried about how I feel? Or how anyone feels that's going through what I'm feeling? I have to handle this shit, and I will. I leave you today with my parole decision. And this, Dice, I love you, no matter what. You're not the guy that they say you are. They don't even know you. In fact, Dice, fuck them. Because they don't know who you are.
For me, it was a test. And for a long time, I kept failing it. I was always in trouble, always getting caught up in something. And the more trouble I got into, the more I felt like there was no way out. I felt like I was trapped in a cycle, like I was circling the drain, like I was toilet water. Then one day, I picked up a pen and I started writing. And my mother sent me a journal, and she said, you know, she was tired of coming to see me in those 24-hour lockdown jails. She said, Dice, keep track of your thoughts, keep track of your movements. She bought me a journal. This is a journal. I started writing in this journal in 2007 and wrote all the way till 2014. And this was, the film you just saw was based off of the writings in this book. So I started journaling, just writing down my thoughts, my frustrations, my dreams, my pain at first. It was like just a pass of time. But then it became deeper, it became my escape. It became my therapy. It became my way of understanding myself. This journal that I wrote in became my map. You know, when I read this journal, it was like the dot on the map that said, you are here. I thought I was going to New York, but my action was taken to California. I was lost. So I journaled for over 7 years, and what started as scribbles in the notebook eventually became the foundation of this animation. And that's the power of journaling, and I encourage everybody to do so. A lot of us, especially men, are taught to hold everything in, to act tough, to never show weakness. But let me tell you, real men, real strength is not in silence. It's in self-awareness. So writing saved me. this book, this journal saved me. It gave me clarity. It helped me turn my pain into purpose. And I encourage every one of you to try it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to make sense. But when you put your thoughts on paper, you take control of them instead of them letting them take control of you. I never imagined that I'd be here telling my story or winning awards or running a business, but at some point I realized I wasn't put on this earth just to exist. I was meant to create, build, inspire, do all the things that I'm supposed to do. I had a purpose, so I worked. I turned my journals into animation. I turned my experiences into lessons, and I put my pain into the craft, and I outworked every obstacle in my way. And for those of you that's chasing your dream right now, understand this. Talent means nothing without discipline, execution. Your dream will not work unless you do. You have to do. So, like I said, I own a barbershop, but it's more than just a place to get a haircut. It's a place where conversations happen, where young men come in as boys and leave as kings, where wisdom is passed down like it used to be. I work for the city of Mount Vernon because I believe in my community. I believe in second chances and fresh starts and creating opportunities for the next generation so they don't have to go through the stuff I went through. Success means nothing if you're not lifting others up with you. My final message is, if you remember one thing from the speech, let it be this. Your past chapter is not the whole story. You have a pen in your hand, so write down the life you deserve. Thank you very much.
Let's prepare ourselves for our DWSA chorale. Give up for Mr. Callahan and the DWSA chorale.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, I think that was literally the best speech that we could have had to go into what we're getting ready to do. This song is a poem from Langston Hughes, To Sit and Dream. So I had a whole speech about it, but I don't even think the speech is needed. Brother Dice just said everything that needs to be said about success, about working hard, about dreaming, about going beyond what your neighborhood or what others are expected of you, about being successful and bringing others with you. So this is what this poem is about. All right? So this is To Sit and Dream. Then we'll do our own song.
To
Good evening again, everyone. And so at this time, I have the ultimate pleasure of welcoming not only Brother T to the stage, but also Mr. Dr. the Honorable Cornell West. He has drawn inspiration from many aspects of life, including the Black church, and he has written 2 books, Race Matters in 1993, and Democracy Matters in 2004. He is famous, his most famous quote is, "You can't lead the people if you don't love the people, and you can't save the people if you don't serve the people." And so one of the auspices of this school is service to mankind. And so without further ado, I'm going to ask Brother T and Dr. West to please proceed to the stage as we listen and learn this evening.
Keep on clapping. Thank you, Mr. Salman. All right, Doc. Let's give it to you. Y'all know that Dr. I thought my voice was good enough. Y'all know that Dr. West is family. So 3 years it's been hard, but it's been a blessing. So when the Lord opened the door and gave me the vision, it's important that we have a vision. And those that had a vision of Dr. West, people think it was an instant gratification for him to become a Dr. West. They don't know the real story, the scars, and the heartache that took him to get where he is today, and that he is a major inspiration for the nation. So I'm here to introduce the Dr. Cornell West.
I am so blessed to be here tonight. Consecrated space, the Denzel Washington School of the Arts. We have heard magnificent voices. Let's give it up for this stage. Give it up for Brother Keith. He's very much responsible for bringing all of us together. We talked about this for almost, what, 2 years, my brother?
2 years.
Lord Almighty, we're Brother Mark. And I do want to dedicate my remarks to our Father, Brother Mark. Father just passed just a few weeks ago. We shall never ever forget him. Brother is here as well.
Right hand man.
Absolutely. Yes, it is nothing but love. Nothing but love, Mr. Brother tell me. Nothing but love here in Mount Vernon.
Yes.
Oh,
And we are here to stay.
And I also want to salute, of course, a visionary, courageous leader. I have never heard a principal singing like that. Thomas and our vice principal are there since this morning, right? And let's give it up for both of them. I don't know where they are, but they're doing a magnificent work and they're focusing on the questions and priceless young folk who passed through this space. And I don't know about you, but I know that I am who I am because somebody loved me. That's right. Somebody cared for me. Somebody deeply sacrificed for me. When I had a chance to meet my magnificent brothers out here, the artists, the hip-hop artists, but all of them, children, and that wonderful duo with the beautiful baby on the way. I thought of the anthem of a great black people, which is to lift every voice. It's not lift every echo. There's a qualitative difference between a voice and an echo. In this school, is about shifting echoes into voices, because you can't be a human being at the deepest level of who you ought to be. You can't be a jazz woman or a blues man without finding your voice. And the voice has everything to do with the discipline, with the vision, with the creativity, but it has everything to do with deep love and courage. And they go hand in hand. There has never been a people in the modern world who has been hated so chronically. 400 years, every day, every week, every year, the black people. And yet we talk the world so much about love. How do you account? How do we account? How can anybody account for that shift? The degradation, the demeaning, totally less beautiful, less intelligent, less moral. And yet here comes John Coltrane's Love Supreme. Here comes Toni Morrison's Beloved. Here comes James Baldwin's Love Soap Essays, the genius of all the kissing cousin, the chocolate side of Mount Vernon. Here comes Stevie Wonder's Love in Need of Love. We heard of the other night. I was singing to one and only Roberta Flack's funeral. Here comes the love train of the OJ. We could go on and on and on. And when my dear sister sang Richard Smallwood's magnificent total praise, I hope you can feel the armor combating any form of hatred and degradation and being demeaned and responding with the highest level of spiritual greatness. That's what distinguishes the best of black people in the modern world. That's why our music saturates every nook and cranny in every corner of the globe. Because the question is, how could it be that these people in the face of this overwhelming terror generate such love and freedom in the face of that terror? How could it be that these people, for 400 years so traumatized, produce so much wounded healing? How could it be that a great black people wrestling with unfathomable depths of sorrow generates so much joy? And I said joy, I didn't say pleasure. Because everybody knows we live in a highly gangsterized society, starting from high places, the spiritual wickedness in high places. And it generates every kind of possible pleasure in the world. You can almost define American culture as a quest for insatiable pleasure, but still can't find no joy. But joy cuts so much deeper than pleasure. Pleasure is all about that superficial titillation and stimulation. Ain't nothing but a distraction and an addiction. But joy, oh, we heard some joy tonight, didn't we? Starting with the choir, then the chorale, then the artists, and then the old Brother Dice. We were at Brother Dice's place today, wasn't we? Fleetwood. Oh, we had a good time. We met some magnificent brothers and sisters in there too. And I felt joy. It wasn't about superficial pleasure. And one of the reasons we find ourselves in the dim and grim situation is that too many of us have been tempted by the superficial things and not willing to courageously engage in the more profound things of love and freedom and healing and joy. And that's why we're dealing with levels of warfare. Brother Malcolm X's last speech that he gave in Rochester, New York, February 16, 1965, just a few days before he was shot down in Oliver Room. said, we black folk are dealing with multi-dimensional wars coming at us. Spiritual wars, political wars, economic wars, social wars. And coming out of this 6th chapter of Ephesians, if we don't put on the whole armor, then we going on. That's what it is to live in such dim and grim days. When I met my brother, how many years is it? Almost 20 years now, brother. Was that the radio station? Lord, Lord, Lord. Then you look the same. You have age. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, I know I've age. I've got more gray than I have to say. But I'm forever fortified. And when you get fortified, you got a love, you got a freedom, you got a healing, and you got a joy that the world didn't give you and the world can't take away. And that makes you in many ways a very dangerous person. Because can't nobody dictate to you. Can't nobody put a noose around your neck. You're not on anybody's plantation. Because when you're free, you have radical freedom and love. When you love, you have a radical love and freedom. And I got my love from Irene B. West, my mama. She passed now, but she's forever in my soul on the other side of the door. And she had a deep commitment. People, chocolate people, teacher, educator. There's a school named after her on the chocolate side of Sacramento where I grew up. Or Irene B. West, elementary school. Her beautiful face. I'll never be one half of the human being she was. Or my father, never be one half of the human being he was, Clifton West. Or my brother Clifton, Assistant Sheriff. And I haven't even got to my pastor, Reverend Willie P. Cook from Brookhaven, Mississippi, who baptized me when I was 7 years old, and I decided to make Jesus my choice, and I'm going to be faithful unto death. That makes you free, rooted in a love. And that has been so often, in so many ways, the history of black people. Let us never, ever forget when Henry Highland Garnett stood in 1843, right up in Buffalo, the Negro Convention. And he told a crowd that included Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman, he said, let us never confuse the situation of black people with the Israelites of the Old Testament. For black people, Pharaoh is on both sides of the bloody Red Seas. Sojourner looked at Frederick Douglass and said, is God dead, friend? And you can imagine somebody in the last row said, could somebody please sing something? We need some music. It's no accident that the greatest tradition of the modern world is black music. Levels of creativity and genius, levels of unbelievable courage and willingness to dig deep inside the dark corners of our own souls and transfigure whatever sorrow, whatever oppression into a sound that touches everybody at their deepest level. There is no other tradition that can fuse that kind of artistic creativity and genius and courage, let alone spiritual fortitude and style with a smile. Your music got to have a little humor in it, even if you can't detect it. Richard Pryor and Moms Mabley ain't no joke. They part of the same tradition. And part of our challenge, that's why this school is so crucial, is that if we can't pass on this great tradition to our young people, then we lose the best, not just of black people, not just of the United States, of the world. Because we come out of conditions of catastrophe. There's never been a race problem in America. There's been catastrophes visited upon black people. Never confuse the catastrophic with the problematic. If you shift from catastrophe to problem, you've already deodorized the funk. And you can't deal with the funk unless you deal with the truth, unless you deal with the love, unless you deal with the freedom, and therefore catastrophe is different than a problem. A problem is something you have a little superficial management over and try to assimilate these people into a mainstream. But a catastrophe is you're going to have to turn your world upside down because the way in which you have tried to dehumanize these people, vilify these people, demonize these people, hate these people, you're going to have to change something in a grand way for black freedom and black love and black joy to be central, to be fundamental. And that's a struggle for each and every one of us on the battlefield of our own souls. Because black people, we have too much white supremacy inside of us. Internalized, inculcated, running around, scared, laughing when it ain't funny, scratching when it don't itch, wearing the mask in order to make your way through the white mainstream and never able to see your face for who you are. The great Paul Lawrence Dunbar, I know they have that poetry in this grand place. And I know my President Thomas and my Vice President, right? First one to tell me, oh, we read Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Brother West. I know you do. What did he say? We wear the mask. What did James Baldwin say? Love forces us to take off the mask. We know we cannot live within, but fear we cannot live without. And it's that fear that's been at the center of so much of the spiritual warfare against black people. Keep these black folks scared, intimidated, fearful, not willing to speak from their souls, not willing to be fundamentally who they are. That's precisely how you niggerize a dignified African people. Because when you niggerize the people, you make them feel as if they're forever locked into fear, forever locked into being intimidated, forever locked into being scared and running around terrified and never able to fully be themselves. But it has been in our music where we have been most free. Nina Simone, free. Aretha, free. Luther, free. Billie Holiday, Sarah Martin. We ain't even got to James Brown yet. Free. But that's a rhythmic and a lyrical freedom in place of an economic freedom, a social freedom, a political freedom. And let us never be deceived. Let us be very clear that the Black Freedom Movement has always been the leaven in the American democratic loaf. When the Black Freedom Movement gets weak and feeble, you can rest be assured the American democratic loaf gets stale. Wouldn't have won the Civil War without 200,000 black men leaving the plantations and joining the Union Army to break the back of the Confederate Army. That's what the Emancipation Proclamation was of Abraham Lincoln. It wasn't a moral gesture, it was a military decision to allow these black men to join this army to break the back of the Confederate Army. So it was in the 1960s too, when we almost had another Civil War. But what happened? Here comes Fannie Lou Hamer comes Ella Baker. Here comes Curtis Mayfield. Here come all of these love warriors. Saying what? Saying that when the black freedom movement is strong, then in fact the possibilities of those Stone called everyday people, those James Cleveland called ordinary people, can lift their voices at any time. Everyday people lift their voices. You can rest be assured they won't choose poverty. They won't choose lack of health care. They won't choose decrepit schools. They won't choose communities terrorized from the outside and the inside. And anytime you see folk suffering, you can rest be assured that their voices are not being heeded. Because nobody chooses to be terrorized and traumatized and impoverished. Now, what does that have to do with what we hear tonight? Oh, it's got everything to do. Everything to do. Because there has been a spiritual war on young black people, intensifying over the decades, to ensure that few of them have access to the best of their history. To ensure that the great ones, and by great I'm talking about service to the people, to the least of these, and it ain't got nothing to do with the gangster in the White House talking about greatness. He's talking about Alexander the Great. He's talking about Napoleon. He's talking about Genghis Khan. Greatness is defined in terms of domination, conquest, manipulation, transaction. No, we come from a people whose definition of greatness is deep love. He or she will be greatest among you will be your servant. That's what my Bible says. And you can't serve without courage. You can't serve without love. And when, in fact, you get the bombardment of so many of our young folk, distracted, addicted, obsessed with pleasure. You say, oh, Brother West, that's not just the young folk, that's the old folk too. You don't say. Young folk grow up imitating the folk they see. When I grew up, I saw Martin Luther King Jr. I saw Angela Davis. I saw James Lawson. I saw Gil Scott-Heron. I saw Curtis Mayfield. I saw the Shy singing, for God's sake, we got to give more power to the people. I listened to the Delphonics and the Dramatics and the Whispers and the main ingredient with that silky soul where they can raise their voices with such harmony that it would touch the depths of your soul. How many young black male groups do we have today that can sing with that level of delicacy? It's gone for the most part. I know boys and men still out there doing their thing. God bless them. I know doing this shit out there just left Las Vegas. God bless them. Love you, Bobby. Love you. Reginald, we love you. But push to the side. How come? Because a great people with courage and love and willingness to serve and live and even die for the least of these coming out of the 25th chapter of Matthew are also attentive people. Very attentive. What's the genius for making? Georgia, Otis Rick, so try a little. Even Bobby Brown, Babyface, writing the song. It's not just groaning, but it's tender groaning. That's not just a song, y'all. No. When you talk to hate yourself and people come along and treat you with tenderness. That's what James Baldwin said with Malcolm X. He was the most tender man I ever met. Ooh, a lot of people wouldn't know that from the mainstream, and certainly the white media wouldn't say that. But he was a tender man. He was a gentle man. I grew up in Shiloh Baptist Church, and the Black Panther Party was right next door, and we were working back and forth. We didn't just talk about being tough and hard and harsh. We talked about being sweet. Because that's what soulfulness is. Soul ain't nothing but the sharing of a soothing sweetness against the backdrop of catastrophe. That's what Anita Baker does. So, Erica Badu from Dallas. So, we ain't even got the Midnight Star in Atlanta. Star and others. A soulfulness is tender and sweet. And once you lose your tenderness and your sweetness and you can't grin, you can't touch, you can't hug, you look at each other in a transactional way. What can you do for me? What I can do for you? Quid pro quo. Then you lose your love capacity. Even in relationships, become more lust-driven than love-centered. It's hard to be a long-distance love warrior and freedom fighter if you're not receiving a tenderness and a sweetness and a gentleness that sustains you day by day and week by week. And sometimes all it is just a memory of your grandmother's smile. Sometimes all it is just the hearing of an old song. We were listening in the car, some of those old songs. Listen to My Precious Love by Jerry Butler, who we just left. The Iceman. How come he's an Iceman? Not because his heart is cold, because he's so cool to generate the fire inside your soul. He wrote that when he was 17 years old with his best friend. Sitting next to him, Curtis Mayfield. They grew up in the same church. You all know this, in Chicago. Curtis wrote, I'm so proud when he's 16, Gypsy Woman when he's 15. That's a genius we don't even have language for, but my point is this. Soulful. Hip-hop artist. Can't be soulful. Tupac was soulful. Oh yeah, absolutely soulful. Kendrick Lamar. That brother's wrestling with his soul, isn't it? Oh, you listen to Damn, he start out with the weakness and the wretchedness, and then he gonna kill himself and hollering in the hotel, and Kendrick don't got you at the top of my prayer list. Brother, love you to death, your genius undeniable, be honest about it, but you're also keeping it soulful, because to be soulful is to be what? Honest, candid, no posing, no posturing. So many folk these days just say anything, get by. Posing and posturing through life, don't say what they mean and mean what they say, but you end up with superficiality. In your culture, in your politics, in your churches, in your mosques, in your synagogues, in your schools. You can't survive just on the surface, dog peddling on the surface of the water. Get on down to the depths of the water. Take me to the water we used to sing in our church. When you get baptized, they don't just keep you on the surface, they put you all the way down. See, the Mississippi used to take you in the river and put you down and wonder whether they're going to bring you up or not. Come up brand new. And that's what we need. That's what is required. And we only do it by having a humility to each other, by learning from each other. But most importantly, recognizing that we're tied to something so much bigger than us. Some of us, it's a God. Mediated by Jesus. I'm a Jesus-loving, free black man. But I love my Allah-loving, free black folk. The Malcolm X's and others. I love all the various religions. Bell Hooks might be such a towering figure. Buddhists. Theological differences, we meet. Same zone. Love, freedom, joy, healing. And it's best to listen to this music here. Rest be assured, the brother Denzel was right now doing his thing on Broadway, isn't it? But the young fellow, let's keep him in our prayers. You know he's working at the highest level, greatest artist of his generation, trying to pass on to the next generation the highest levels. Love, freedom, healing, and joy.
trademark of himself on, but they don't know the struggle of this man. Even now, when he said he was running for president, my phone was ringing like a hotcake. People were watching me, people were following me. It was a shock. And I said, running for president? Not Dr. West. Dr. West ran for president. And it was so sad is that a lot of us really didn't know that he was running for president. But then that takes a lot of courage, that takes a lot of love. That's the thing that we miss when we have a great leader like Dr. West. But there are remnants of Dr. West as we speak, because his vision will live for centuries. And that's what I'm going to try to demonstrate tonight, is that we all reproduce not only in the bed, but the things that we do. And Brother Dice and the chosen ones, they are fathers. We are mentors to the nation. And so that your vision becomes a reality once you know purpose. Am I correct?
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely.
There's a principle that comes with a vision. And when you don't have the principle, your vision either waits or it bypasses you and gets in somebody else. And that's the thing I'm going to drive tonight. The principle, the respect, the integrity, the discernment comes with your vision. Your love has to break it. Because when you look at us, we done traveled all over the world, and we done been in my organization, the Cross of Black Men, is 23 years old. I've been out there for a long time. And there are days when I want to quit. There's days I want to give up, really. But you can't. You got to keep going. Because when you become to be the sacrifice of others, there's no quitting days. There's downtime, but there's no quitting days. And so that comes with principle. That comes with wisdom. So me being family with Dr. West taught me more wisdom to keep going. Even when my emotions won't let me. Even when the crowd don't show up, when you think that you've done all that you can do, and they don't. When you have been a brother to the nation such as I am, and realize when you thought you were going to quit, you just started all over again. And so, Doc, I just want you to just touch some of the rams of those days when you just said, I can't do it no more.
No, for me, then it's time to take a nap. My young folk tell me all the time, stay woke, stay woke. I said, no, I'm not going to suffer from insomnia. No, I'm going to stay fortified. I mean, I got to take my naps. I'm bounce back. I'm going to bounce back, too. You go to jail, I got to bounce back. When the bullet's coming, I got to bounce back. And I'm moving, you know. Absolutely, and I'm holding on to my Lord, everlasting arms, too. But you are such an inspiration, Brother Mark, and I can talk about that for hours, man. Very much so. Your mind, your heart, your soul has been poured into you. Of course, we got Sister Valerie Ward, who was a towering figure. Mine, one of Shirley Caesar, who was a great queen in so many ways of gospel music, certainly in our generation, if not more. But that's part of your family. And just makes it, you and I, we didn't choose to be born in our families. That's just a gift. You know, everybody has exactly that kind of thing. So we build on what we have. And our friendship is deeper than a friendship, it's a brotherhood. It was true, Brother Mark. Same was true with his father when we used to kick him in for dinner, you know. It was at that deep spiritual level to keep us going so we would never cave in, give up, or sell out.
Y'all hear that?
A whole lot of selling out going on, but we don't get into that.
Oh, yeah. We gotta leave y'all with memories. We gotta touch your heart. Because what we do is not easy, and it may look easy, but there's some, like I said, there's days that you just don't want to do it. You give up. But the Lord said to me that when I put you out there, it wasn't about you. And that's the thing that we gotta keep fighting for. Because there are times your emotions will only make you think about you. When you have made a mockery on the lives of millions, such as Dr. West and such as me. That's not to brag, that's just to let you know that there's days that's gonna come, you're gonna have to pay the price. And the price is being crucified in order for you to get to the next level. It's that decision that gives you that moment where you have to learn how to discern, the gift of discernment. That's a principle. So you know how to maneuver, dive, come back up. People thought they got you down and you're going to stay down and you come back up and you rise again. And so with that in mind, I just want to make sure that we're clear about vision and how it becomes a reality and how not only Dr. West and I, but you can't quit. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. And so there are going to be days the crowd is not going to be there for you. You got to make the decision by yourself. And that's when you know you're true to who you are for real. Because now you got purpose. And purpose will bring you everything that you need once you make the decision. It's got to be a decision like tonight. Tonight, there was a great expectation, but the little becomes much. We're going to leave Denzel with a decision. And that Denzel Washington School and Miss Thomas and Miss Wright becomes family. We're going to turn the tables around and we're going to be back here again next year. But we got a few more colleges to hit and we're going to make this tour work. Hook or crook, because it's a vision that I want to become a reality. So I can't go by emotions, I can't go by what is here. I gotta go by my relationship with God and how He told me that it's gonna happen. So that's how we're gonna make this work. And we're gonna pull together. We're gonna pull together. The small becomes much, so there's a lot in this little crowd that we got here. It's 1,100 seater. So I want to make sure that y'all leave some information. In fact, I'm gonna get the phone number out so you don't leave on a blank note. So if y'all are ready, I'm gonna give out my number. We're gonna work together. And by the time we get back in next year, we're gonna fill this arena and it's gonna only be standing.
That's so true. But I'm just overjoyed to be here because for me it's always about quality, not quantity. As a Christian, I can go to some mega churches, 10,000 people show up. And I ask them, where's your mega courage? Where's your mega love? What does your prison ministry look like? Are you spending more on the prisons than on your building fund or on your pastor's cars? I'm not worried about numbers. I'm worried about those who opt for integrity, honesty, decency, and have a courage and a willing to throw down and risk and sacrifice. Martin King used to say, I'd rather be dead than afraid. I'd rather be a corpse than a coward. Those are the ones who kept black people going. Not the large numbers of folks just coming in and coming out in a superficial way. When your love is deep, when you have deep courage and you're willing to make a leap beyond where spirit, then God can use you. And I can hear Shirley Caesar singing a song, said, no coward soldiers. God can't use, God don't need coward soldiers. God needs all seasoned soldiers, those who have enough inside of them. And you get it from folk who came before, you get it from on high. So brother, I'm celebrating. I'm telling you, if I didn't have to get on the plane tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we could hit a club and do a little break dancing and moonwalk. But I'm celebrating. Oh, we celebrated at the Bayou today, didn't we? At the Bayou restaurant we were celebrating because of the spirit. And when we looked and saw the smiles of Sister Thomas and Wright and those precious children and all of these artists and all of you all who decided to come. If you're here already, you're not a quitter because you got a zillion other things to do tonight. You're already on the move. But the important thing is, as Curtis Mayfield reminded us, hope is not a mood. Hope is a virtue. And a virtue is a verb. And a verb means you're in motion, you're always involved in some momentum or some movement. Brother ended up talking about Gaza, that last thing. Genocide is real. Sudan, suffering is real. Haiti, suffering is real. You got to stay in motion, and Brother Curtis said, keep on. Push. Moving on up. That's the message tonight. We are going to keep on pushing. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do.
And we got the video running, and thank God for Sister Shanice up there with all that bright light. And she's up there, and these are soldiers. Again, I want to thank all that has been involved and participated. I got some roses for. Y'all give me those roses so I can give the principal and assistant principal. Y'all come forward. Miss Thomas and Miss Wright, you can't go without them. They're soldiers. I don't care how you think and say their family also. So, thank you. Let's see how Dr. West moved, y'all. He made me hurt. Okay, the man's here. I just noticed. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Come on. Come on, tell me what. Now, y'all know we bad now, but we got the men here, so we ain't playing with y'all. Lock y'all up if y'all don't know how to behave. Where's my photographer? I hope y'all getting this. I hope y'all getting this. Oh my God. I know you got some words of wisdom as well.
Well, I want to thank you first of all and your team for putting this together. I'm going to move, I don't want to block anyone. And I want to thank Dr. West for coming. I need to say something to you, right? Because when we do things, we have an expectation of people showing up, and we get frustrated when they don't. But you got to focus on what those who showed up got, and not on those who didn't show, right? That's something I had to learn a long time ago. We have to speak well and be excited of what you produced tonight, and that's going to get people to come more than talking about who didn't show, right? We can't worry about who don't show, because oftentimes when it's time to go on the front lines, you're turning around and expecting an army, and you just got a posse, right? And even in the Bible, he had to break it all the way down to just a few hundred. Because not everyone has the will to fight. They don't have the knowledge to fight. They don't have the focus to fight. And you said it's not about successful leaders, it's about great leaders. So that's the quote I've always loved of yours most, Dr. West. You know, successful leaders oftentimes don't have the courage You want great leaders who are going to love the people and sacrifice for the people and not focus on what's convenient for themselves, but do what has to be done. We are living in a time right now where leaders are more important than ever before. And leaders are not based on title. Leaders in our community have never been based on title. It was the church mother who prayed. It was the person who told you to stop acting foolish in the neighborhood as she sat on the stoop when you were like, she's so nosy. Well, her being nosy kept you from doing dumb things and going to jail. And if you did go to jail, then they kept you, the prayers kept you while you were in there and helped you when you come back out. It was the nosy neighbors and the people without education. I have degrees and advanced degrees, and that's great. But I don't understand why our people were more successful without education and were able to buy houses without education, working in people's houses, and now we have education and we have six-figure jobs, but we popping bottles and turning up at the club more than we're making sure that we're investing in houses and businesses in our own community. We have become a little too successful with success, and so now that you have people turning executive orders to take us out of our neighborhoods, to shut down our colleges, to tell us what we could teach, to tell us where we could work and where we could move and who we could be, people still aren't woke, right? We don't need permission to lead, and you don't need a title to lead. You just need conviction in your heart. You need courage in your heart, and as you spoke about, you need the love. You need the love of God. You need the love of self. You need the love of community. You need integrity to lead. So don't wait for a title. Don't wait to be recognized. Don't wait for someone to affirm you before you stand up and lead. Lead from where you are, because the people who you have influence over are looking at you on a daily basis. They're looking at you on a daily basis. I never ever thought I'd be in leadership, in elected office. That was never ever my goal. I was a social worker, a case manager. I worked with youth. I worked with drug addicts. I worked in HIV/AIDS. I worked in gangs. I worked in prison. But I had this opportunity to sit in this space, in this place. And so we're going to do what we got to do while we're here. But you don't have to ask permission to lead. Stop playing a harp and blow a trumpet and get what you need to get done, right? He said, stand fast in the liberty whereas Christ has set you free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage, right? Mental, emotional bondage, spiritual bondage. We're free. And who the Son has set free is free indeed. So we don't have to ask for permission from anybody to do what we need to do. We just have to make up our mind to do it. And in the words of my girlfriend, she lives here in Mount Vernon, Cynthia Turnquest Jones, she always says that they cannot conquer what they can't divide. That you cannot conquer what you can't divide. If people can divide us over a job, over some nickels and dimes, over you think she cute, you think you this, that's what people say all the time. So-and-so thinks they're so-and-so. No, what do you think about yourself? And if you think well of yourself, then you'll get up and do something. It's not about what someone else thinks about you. I'm the mayor, and I got on Facebook, social media, Instagram, every day. People tearing me down. She fat, she ugly, she stupid. She thinks she is. Who she thinks she is. I think I was at the UN yesterday speaking to world leaders. I think I'm going to be in Joe Dr. Talk, right? I'm not asking for permission or anyone to tell me who I am, because before I was ever the mayor, I had a voice that resonates. And when I'm no longer the mayor, I will have that. So don't wait for somebody to give you a title. Stand up, be great, do what you gotta do, invest in your family, invest in your community, invest in your neighborhood, make a difference, and don't be apologetic about it. And don't wait for someone to recognize you for it. Because they won't always recognize you for it, but do it anyhow. Do it because you believe in it, and because you're authentic and you trust in it. Shut it down, keep it going, trust God, stay focused, and let's get it done.
Y'all need to stand up. Y'all need to just go ahead and stand up for that one. That just made my day. That just made my day. I'm gonna go out and kick some more cans down. I got Dr. West and the mayor in the house. This is powerful. This is powerful. All right, y'all, we're gonna let y'all get on out of here and get home. But remember, we're all.
We got phone numbers.
Yeah, the food is out.
Downstairs.
Downstairs. Got a little menu down here.
What's your number?
The phone number.
Phone number. Y'all ready? 347-571-1433. Need thoughts of black men. We are on social media everywhere. And so you can find me. I ain't hard to be searching for me. So you got my number. Let's keep it together. Let's unite. We're praying that we can move now to the first college, maybe Hunter College. But, all right, y'all. No, I need MC Karen, I need the chosen ones, I need y'all up here. All my performers,